Distance means so little when someone means so much. Tom McNeil.
Maybe home isn't a place. Maybe it's a feeling you have inside of you, being around the people that matter to you. Justin Stomper.
I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. Maya Angelou.
Surround yourself with the dreamers, the doers, the believers, and the thinkers.
But most of all, surround yourself with those who see the greatness within you even when you don't see it in yourself. Simone Biles.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Ruthie Hames, and I am a sixth former from Bronxville, New York. As many of you might already know, today is February 14th, Valentine's Day. Though there are many stereotypical views that Valentine's Day is about being in a relationship with a significant other, I believe that the true importance of the holiday is so much more than that. Valentine's Day is about showing the people you care about how much you truly love them. We were taught this as kids, giving each other notes and candy in our classes, but somehow, as we grow older, we tend to forget this message. Throughout my life, I have endured many challenges, but I would be nowhere without the relationships that have brought me here today. One person in particular that has made a profound impact on my life is my grandfather, Papa. Growing up, Papa was my biggest supporter. He attended every sports game, piano recital, school play, concert, and even my religious milestones, although he identified with a different religion. Papa spent almost every Sunday and holiday with my family. Our relationship was consistent and reliable, and I never realized how much he meant to me until one day, everything changed. In August 2017, Papa had an aphasia stroke, and in the weeks following, he spent time in a hospital and a rehabilitation facility. The stroke restricted his ability to recall words, his speaking ability, and his physical strength. Overnight, Papa's life had changed, and with that, our relationship did as well. Although our relationship was never quite the same after his stroke, Papa made the most out of every opportunity given to him. He found happiness in classical and jazz music, especially Frank Sinatra. He enjoyed sitting in a park bench in Washington Square Park on a warm spring day. His stroke flipped his world like a tornado, but luckily, he had my family to comfort him and show him how much we care about him. He dedicated his time to speech and physical therapy as he wanted more than anything, to return back to his normal self. When COVID struck, Papa moved in with my family. During this time, I connected with him in ways I never thought possible. We bonded over our love for different kinds of snacks and TV shows. I learned more about his life growing up than ever before and how he started his own company. Our time together wasn't rushed like in the past. We would sit together and talk for hours, just enjoying each other's company. Although Papa unfortunately passed away during his time living with my family, I know he would be very proud of the person I have become. Papa is a constant reminder to persist even when you feel like giving up and to make the most out of challenging obstacles that life can throw your way. Yes, our relationship endured a substantial change, but despite this, he still remained my support system and did everything in his power to be there for me and my siblings. Another important relationship in my life is someone that I met from sleepaway camp. When I was 9 years old, I attended sleepaway camp in Maine for 3.5 weeks during the summer. And for the next 6 summers following, I returned to that camp every year. This camp has taught me so many things and has helped me develop into the person I am today. I could try and explain the true magic that this camp holds, but what's important is describing the relationships that I formed there. In the spring, following the summer at my first year at camp, I received a letter from a girl named Maddie that I was friendly with, but honestly didn't know very well. I don't know exactly what the letter said, but I remember her asking to be in the same bunk with me the next summer. Maddie was fairly quiet her first year at camp, but was unfortunately stuck in a bunk with all extroverted girls. I was overjoyed with her letter and loved the feeling that I was noticed. For the rest of the year leading up to camp, Maddie became my pen pal. What started off as a few letters back and forth turned into hundreds of emails updating each other on our lives. I recently went back to look at these emails, and the email chain was labeled camp in all caps with 22 exclamation points. One of my favorite emails from the chain reads, May 19th, 2016. I miss you so much. Can't wait to see you at camp. What have you been up to? Sorry I haven't emailed you in so long. And yes, I love my tramp. Maybe if you come visit, you could jump on it with me. XOXO, Maddie. As a 10-year-old, having a long-distance friend was so exciting, even if our conversations were as simple as talking about her trampoline. When camp rolled around that summer, I spent an amazing 3.5 weeks with Maddie and all of the other friends we had met. As soon as we were long distance again, we went back to our email chain, updating each other on our lives. The same cycle continued the next year until the end of camp, when Maddie told me she wouldn't be coming back. Her family was traveling the world for a year, and that trip would overlap at the same time as camp. Throughout the next year, all of Maddie's emails were from different countries. I constantly looked forward to what country she would visit next and what cool activities she was doing while I was stuck at school. One email read, I went on the second longest zip line in Europe, and it was crazy fast. Tomorrow, we are planning on hiking up a canyon and rappelling down a waterfall. Wow, my life is boring. The following summer was probably my least favorite at camp because I hadn't realized how much of an impact Maddie had on my life. She was a sense of comfort that had always been there for me, and her absence was like a black hole. I kept wanting to go to activities with her and then would realize she wasn't there. She wasn't there to uncontrollably laugh with when we were supposed to be sleeping. She wasn't there to do flips on the hill with me. She wasn't there to swim across the lake with me. However, when we finally returned to camp together the following summer, our relationship was stronger than ever. We spent every possible moment swimming in the lake and sailing together. I was reunited with the person I wanted to do everything with, and I couldn't have been more happy. After camp that summer, Maddie and I started our traditions. When my sister went to college in Colorado, the same state that Maddie lives in, I convinced my parents to go visit Maddie. I would stay with her for my winter breaks, and over that time, we would ski together, and I would meet all of her Colorado friends. She would show me all of her favorite places and what made her hometown unique. When Maddie and I stopped going to camp, for various reasons, we made a pact to alternate staying with each other for a week or two over the summer. Maddie has become a part of my family. My parents will even stay at her house without me there, and my sister goes to dinner with her multiple times a month to catch up. She is the fourth sibling in my family, as I am hers. Ultimately, what I have learned from my relationship with Maddie is that sometimes the best relationships arise completely unexpected. As a new student at Westy during COVID, I was challenged by masks and distancing to help keep our community healthy and safe. To say the least, the beginning of my time here was rough. Simple tasks, such as finding a person to sit with at lunch, constantly made me anxious, as I didn't really know that many people. I struggled to get to know people outside of my dorm, and even in other hallways, due to restrictions put in place. But through all my struggles to connect, there was one person who always made me feel like I belonged, my mentor, Lexi. She constantly invited me to dinner, checked in on me, and always invited me to play lacrosse on the turf with her in our free time. While I don't think she thought much of these actions, they truly meant the world to me. To this day, we still check in with each other, and I know that Lexi will always be there for me if I need her. While I have grown a lot since sophomore year, one thing remains the same. The people are what make a place. Without Lexi, the beginning of Westy would have been an even greater challenge. Through her friendship, I have learned to immerse myself in our community and have built so many amazing relationships. While I could say so many things about the academics, athletics, and arts at Westminster, in 10 years, when I think back to my time here, what I'm truly going to remember are the relationships that I have formed. My amazing advisor, Miss Babbage, who was a constant support system, my art teacher, Miss Kendall, who saw my potential and pushed me to take AP Art and Design, even though I had never taken an art before, all of the awesome coaches who have made me not just a better player, but a better person, and most importantly, the friendships that I have formed that have made life on the Hill so much more special. Relationships are what ground us. They support us and give us the courage to push through obstacles. Adapting to a new place, losing a cherished relationship, or being challenged with a long-distance relationship are all challenges that have been thrown my way, but with the reliance of the people around me, I was able to persevere through. We all go to the same school, eat meals in the same place, go to classes together in the same building, and yet there is so much we all don't know about each other. I challenge you all to reach out to someone you aren't very close with and make an effort to talk to someone new because you never know who you might become friends with. But more than anything, because today is Valentine's Day, show the people that you love how much you truly care about them. Thank you.